Hi, I'm Carlene, and this is Carlene Tonight. Tonight we have with us again in studio, Matt Vettese. Matt, what's that?
Hey, how's it going?
You know what? It's going well. I can't complain. We've had beautiful weather the last few days, and we are in November. So I think we're doing good, you know?
Yeah, is it just me, or does it feel like this nice weather that we're getting is kind of like the calm before the storm, before
Yeah.
like winter really hits and gets bad?
Yeah, you're right. Because someone was saying that. I went to Tim Hortons today and she's like, yeah, the nice weather in November means we're going to have a brutal winter. So I feel like we have to prepare now. I'm starting to slowly prepare. I normally don't do let me get some winter gear, but I feel like I have to get a couple things. Like I got some warmer socks. I have a few sweaters. I'm probably going to get a new pair of winter boots. I don't know. Do you wear boots? Like, are you like the kind of like, yeah, let's do the full on winter gear?
I've lived in some places where there's been quite a bit of snow and you kind of need to have the boots, but if I don't need to wear boots, if the snow isn't that high, I can just kind of kick it in some cheap shoes and I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Let's talk about that. I mean, we haven't talked about your radio career. So before we talk about the holidays, let's talk about you and how you lived you lived in Alberta, didn't you?
Yeah, I've lived in a few places. I've lived in Alberta, I've lived in Thunder Bay, and I lived in Wingham as well. So.
Wingham as well. So tell me what was the high and the low. I mean, you obviously were working in radio, that we know. Like for those who are tuning in, Matt is in radio. We both went to Humber. Yeah, Humber. All our Humber grads out there. Woo! You know?
All the coolest kids go to Humber, of course.
I know, right? Humber's got quite the rep. I think being a Humber alumni, I'm like, well, I was part of the varsity. I mean, I was part of the athletic association. So Humber's got a great varsity team, a great radio broadcasting program. Yeah,
Humber's got a good reputation with radio.
Yeah, definitely. I did my homework and they said Humber's one of the tops. So we have a lot of great grads, you know, even on the Hall of Fame. So, you know.
Yeah, a lot of very successful people came out of Humber.
I think
definitely easy when making the decision to go to Humber.
Yeah, it definitely made it was either I go to Humber or Sheridan, and then I looked at Ryerson. But when everything came together, I was like, you know what, this is the place. I think I should come here. You know what I mean? And I'm happy with my decision.
Actually, my first choice, and actually I got turned down from Ryerson, and I'm pretty happy that I did.
Yeah, right.
The 2-year program at Humber was focused. It got me in and out, and I saved 2 years instead of doing that extra 2 years to get the degree, and it being between radio and television, it was nice. I got to focus on radio. 2 years, I was in and out. It was cheaper, and also like I just got into the industry that much faster, right? So I'm pretty happy with my choice to go to Humber.
Yeah, I think for me, I went to Humber when I'd taken some time off of school and I was going back into school because I hadn't gotten a job in my field. And I was like, oh, you know what? I was always interested in radio. So let's see what happens. I have nothing to lose. So I applied to Humber and to Sheridan. I got into both programs. So I actually could have been doing journalism at Sheridan. But at the end of the day, I'm happy I went with Humber too. Even the interview process, I felt like, am I going to make it in? Like, you know, some of those questions that I remember Neil asking us, so weird that I remember this, but it's just one of those things where I'm like, you know what? I'm happy I went to Humber. It was a great experience. And I met so many great people that I still talk to now. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Go there and make those connections, right?
Yeah. So tell me so when you were in Alberta, how long were you there for? What was that like working at a radio station in Alberta?
It was fun. I mean, I was in northern Alberta, so it was about 5 hours north of Edmonton, to kind of put that into perspective for some people. A little small town. And, I mean, it had its moments. You know, the winters were rough. I think the coldest it ever got when I was up there was minus 60 with the wind chill.
Wow, Matt.
Yeah, that was like the anomaly, though. That was the anomaly. Wow. And people out there were just kind of like whatever about it. I remember it was like a a Friday or Saturday night. We went to the bar that night, and at the time I smoked and I wanted to go out for a cigarette, but like we all kind of smoked at the table and no one wanted to go outside. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to tough it out. It's been a few hours. I want a cigarette. Let's just go out. I'm going to tough it out. No one came with me. I went out by myself, and there was a few other people outside smoking, some strangers at the bar. And I'm out there, and I had a Canada Goose parka. I'm like all bundled up, and I'm just like, like freezing. Trying to take drags of my cigarettes, and I have these two guys in nothing but hoodies. Like, they didn't even have a jacket on, and they're laughing at me. And I'm go, what are you laughing at? It's minus 60. And they're like, oh, we work outside in this all the time, because it was all, people working out on the oil fields. And it just didn't phase them. Like, it's minus 60. I don't care. It's objectively cold. You don't need to be like, laugh at me all you want. It's objectively cold. This is freezing right now. I don't care if you work out in this. I don't work in this. I work in radio, okay?
Oh my gosh.
But
I don't envy you. You know what? I remember there was one point I made the shortlist for a radio station in, I think it was, in BC, in some small little town. And the average, I think they were saying, was minus 24. And I don't even think that's including the wind chill. But that, for me, was like, wow. I mean, here in Ontario, we get up to like minus 22, and that's cold enough,
But we hit like minus 30s and stuff over here, and it's also different cold too, right? Like, I don't know where BC you were, but in Alberta, the one thing that I noticed was different is it's a dry cold. Down here in Southern Ontario, it's a wet cold, and it kind of like it gets to you. The dry cold is just like a raw cold. Like, if in minus 15 in the dry cold, you need a block heater. In the wet cold, you don't need a block heater for the car, right? But the dry cold, you step outside and instantly you feel your nostril hairs instantly freeze. But in Southern Ontario, you don't get that. Like, the colds are just, it's so hard to explain, but like, they're so different. And going outside in the dry cold in Alberta, it was, like, you're good for the first 5 minutes and then it just hits you. But if you have like everything covered, you should be good for the most part. Over here, though, if you walk outside and it's minus 25, you walk outside, instantly it's hitting you. You don't have that 5-minute buffer. You also don't feel your nostril hairs freeze. It's so different, and I think that you just need to experience it yourself to truly understand.
Oh my gosh, Matt, that is crazy. I just died laughing listening to you talk about the difference between dry and wet cold and how it hits you.
It hits you different. I believe that's what the Gen Z would say.
Like, if you weren't awake at minus 30, minus 60, you're awake now. Like, boom. It's in your face. You got it. You're like, you ready? Here we go.
But Alberta's fun, even with the winter, like even going into the summer. The summer was some of the best times that I had summers out there, because also in the summer, the sun's up until like midnight.
Wow, that is amazing. Because I'm just happy here when the sun is out till 9. Like, I'm playing like this summer, which was the only thing I got to do is play beach volleyball. I was at the beach till like, late at night, but we were counting down because it's like in the summer, at least you get the sun out till at least 9 o'clock. We could play volleyball. And then after that, now it's like 5 o'clock. It's starting to get dark, right? Yeah,
we go play softball till like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night and then go to the bar afterwards and grab a few drinks. It was, and the sun would still be up. It'd be midnight. Yeah. The sun would still be up. Trying to get to sleep early if you're covering for the morning show or something. Yeah. Good luck.
Wow. My goodness. That is a different perspective when you think about Canada as a whole. There's so many different provinces, different experiences. So you got to live through that. And I mean, you're here to tell it now. And I think it's always nice to live somewhere different, even if it's for a short period of time, right? I mean, it's obviously given you some adventures to talk about, some integrity, and you definitely have ventured to the cold. So anyone who complains to you, you're like, listen, you haven't seen cold yet. This is amazing in comparison, right? I mean,
you build up that tough skin.
Yeah, you got tough skin, Matt. Oh my God.
I'll tell you a secret though.
Oh man.
That skin sheds off after a while. I don't have that skin anymore. Now minus 15 is cold again.
Yeah. I mean, you did it when you had to, right? The things we do for radio because we enjoy being on the air. And I mean, even talking to you now, I only remember you from when I briefly saw you at Humber, and then I think I ran into you at Chorus, and you've come a long way. You can hear it in your voice and the way that you, your cadence and your sound. So I think even people who heard you speak, they're like, oh, does he do radio? I'm like, yeah, he does. You can tell some people have it, right? You know what I mean? Like Paul Cross would say, we need to get you on the radio, right? But you're there. So he'd be like, Matt, you did it, man. Hi, I'm Carlene, and this is Carlene Tonight. We have Altered by Mom, Outside Lover.
Blow your mind. I got this intuition. You ain't gonna sleep tonight. Might be a little crazy, might be a lot of fun. Maybe we're starting something we won't know until we're done. Outside lover, inside liar, so familiar when I'm with you. Outside lover, inside liar, hold me closer when I'm with you. Trouble with you. Feeling a connection. Love is imperfection with you. Feeling a connection. Love is imperfection. Feeling a connection. Love is imperfection with you. I've got an invitation. I wanna make you mine. I'm calling like a demon crossing from the other side. No time for talking, baby. Turn up the music loud. I'm seeing something in your eyes that says it's going down. Outside lover, inside liar, so familiar when I'm with you. Outside lover, inside liar, hold me closer when I'm with you. Same old story, same old trouble with you. Feeling a connection, love is imperfection with you. Same old story, same old trouble with you. Feeling a connection, love is imperfection with you. Same old story, same old trouble. Feeling a connection, love is imperfection with you. With you. Feeling a connection, love is imperfection. Same old story, same old trouble with you. Feeling a connection, love is imperfection with you.
Hi, I'm Carlene, and you're listening to Carlene Tonight. That was Outside Lover by Altered by Mom. Wow, so Alberta all together. So speaking of the cold, this winter is going to be a little bit different with COVID-19. And I was actually at Michael's looking at the holiday display because there you have the Christmas ornaments up and everything like that. So for those who are planning for Christmas. What do you got planned? I know you said it's going to be a little bit simpler this year.
Yeah, it's going to be different this year with COVID-19. Probably just going to keep it more low key and just kind of get together with more immediate family and just kind of call it that way instead of doing the big gathering. You know, it's not worth it.
Right. Now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, last year we had like a huge gathering. My family's pretty big too. So I don't think we're going to be doing that. If I do visit like my great aunt, I'll go and see her. But yeah, we won't be doing the big party. Like my family's big. Like on my grandmother's side, I have like lots, like great aunts and uncles, and like my great aunt alone has 5 kids, and they have kids, and their kids have kids. So like when we do a party, there's like, we don't even need to invite anybody else. It's like 30 people when you think about it. I'm like, wow, this family's huge, right?
Are you sure you're not Italian?
My sisters are half Italian, so I got a little bit of Italian. I mean, like, I guess since you're asking me, I did grow up with Italian family. Yeah, my stepdad's Italian, so I grew up with Nonna. Nonna, she passed away like years ago, but she was the best cook. I miss her lasagna and her ravioli, and Italians. There's one thing they love to eat. My Nonna would be like, "Ma, it would be Christmas time. We would go and visit other family. I walk through the door and I'm full, right? And Nonna's like, you hungry? I'm like, no, I'm good. She's like, you sure? Like, you don't want a sandwich? I'm like, by the time she's done talking to you, I'm eating a mortadella sandwich, So,
yeah. Don't take no for an answer.
No.
No's not in their vocabulary. Oh, you want lasagna? No. I'm full. Okay, then just have a sandwich. No, I'm full. Okay, some fruit? No, I'm full. Okay, then you have salad. No, I'm full.
I know. And then when you think about the meal prep, like the amount of food coming out, right? When everybody's over at the table, it's like, wait a minute, we're not done yet. So we just had the first dish was, what is it? The meat with the vegetables. So like the beef and the vegetables. Then you have the pasta, right? And then there's salad. And then we still have dessert after. I'm like, I don't even know if I have room for dessert. Like, where am I going to fit it,
Force it down, or you get the spoon across your hand.
Oh my God, I'm running. It's like I'm running away from food. Like, oh my God. Oh, the best would be when I'm sitting at the table and she's watching me and she's like, I'm like, no, it's good. It's good. She's like,
that's such a good Italian impersonation of like. That was spot on.
I remember her sitting there and I'm like, oh my goodness, if I make my face up, if I do anything, she's going to think I don't like it. Oh man. Even if you don't like it, you're like, yeah, no, that's so good. I love it. And then I'm like, that dish, I love everything else. But that one, I mean, she made a lot of good stuff, right? The gnocchi and the lasagna. Like, I was so young at that time, but it would have been good to get the lasagna recipe from her, because she made everything from scratch, So.
Yeah, you know what my favorite is? If you tell them that you like something, that's the only thing you're gonna ever eat again for the next 3 months every time you go over their house. Yeah, the gnocchi was good. You're eating gnocchi for 3 months now. You just told her it was amazing. You're eating that for 3 months now every time you go over. Until you tell her that you've had enough, then she gets offended. She moves on to something else. Yeah, the spaghetti was really good. You only eat spaghetti now for the next 3 months.
Oh my God, I didn't tell her that. So I got variety, but now that's so funny. Jesus, for 3 months. Oh man. Is your Nonna, is she still cooking and doing that kind of stuff? Or?
Yeah, she's still around. She's still kicking.
That's good. That's good. She's still making your favorite.
Yeah.
What is your favorite from Italian, like your favorite Italian dish?
It's hard to pick.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
You have a few?
Yeah, I'll probably go with the lasagna. Let's just go with the lasagna. You can't go wrong with the classics.
I know,
right?
And tiramisu. The guy for is so good. For those of you who don't know what tiramisu is, it's like the best cake. What else is in there? There's coffee.
Wait, hold that. Are we assuming that people don't know what this is?
I don't know. So, guys. They should know. If they
Are there
don't
people
know,
out there that don't know what a tiramisu is? If you don't, Google it. It's 2020. You gotta Google it. You gotta go to a bakery. You gotta buy it. And that's the end of that. We don't need to explain what's in a tiramisu. Just go and do it. Go and order one right now. You're done. You're good. You'll thank me later.
oh my God, really? Too much fun. Tiramisu. Oh, and oh my God, canola? Is it cannoli?
Cannolis?
Oh my God, that's another thing. So good, right?
That I could see people not understanding. You know, actually, speaking of when we were back in Alberta and like Italian things, I remember when it was such a culture shock when I first went there. I went to the grocery store and I went to the deli and I was like, yeah, do you got any mortadella? And she was looking at me like I was crazy. And I looked back at her and I was like, mortadella? Any prosciutto? And I'm like, just like, nod your head if I'm speaking crazy to you. And she just nodded her head and I went, okay, don't worry about it. And I was like, oh, it's all these munja cake deli meats over here, like roast beef. I had to drive 2 hours to Grand Prairie to the nearest deli that had Italian cold cuts. I didn't realize that wasn't a thing growing up in the GTA in an Italian neighborhood. I didn't realize that mortadella wasn't like a thing that was known across the globe. I didn't realize that was just like an Italian thing. I thought it was just a normal thing for everybody.
That was the culture shock. Just hearing you, the fact that you had to drive 2 hours, like
yeah, I did it every weekend. I drove 2 hours every weekend. Well, I mean, it also helped. My girlfriend lived in that city.
Nice.
So
oh yeah,
every weekend I drove 2
that.
hours to go see her and did all my grocery shopping down there because down in the city they had Italian meats.
Yeah. I love mortadella. I can't do without it, dude. When I go to No Frills, it's like a staple. I have to have it. Yeah, I know it's not good for me too. I just love that shit. You know what? The prosciutto, that stuff I could eat. Like, I'm like, ooh, I can't believe how much prosciutto I just ate. But man, so good. Like just a sandwich, a baguette with prosciutto, mortadella, mayo, and some tomato. We're good. We're like, I'm so happy. Like,
if you want another one, mortadella, mix it with some capicolo. There you go.
Oh,
we're talking.
I'm gonna do that.
We're talking Italian meat sandwiches here.
I'm not like, I don't look Italian, but I know Italian food. There we go. I know. Sometimes I say to people, I'm like, I could be half Italian. Like, I mean, I did grow up with it. I know it. I like, you look at me and you're like, about mortadella and prosciutto. I'm like, yeah.
Hey, you could have fooled me just listening to you.
I know, right? And then I know, no, right? There we go.
What you know, like?
Yeah, right? You could, as soon as I say that, I grew up with Italian grandmother,
Nobody with no Italian connection can say, like that.
Yeah.
That perfectly.
She said it so many times. I could just, I was a kid at that time and I still can't forget it. It just, and then just her, because she spoke mainly Italian, she would get so upset when I wouldn't understand her. But I'm like, I don't speak Italian, Nona. Like, it's not it's not like my stepdad taught us, and my sisters don't even speak Italian, so.
I don't speak Italian either, to be honest. I like to troll my parents because my grandmother tries to like teach me, but I'm like, it's a little too late to teach me now. I'm 29 years old.
Yeah.
So she'll like try talking Italian to me, and then I just kind of give her like the Peter Griffin Family Guy boppity boopity boo back to her, and she gets really mad and starts smacking me and speaking to me in Italian like I'm supposed to understand it. I just go, oh yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, and she doesn't like that.
Oh my gosh! So you know what? I think we are definitely catering to the Italian demographic with our topic tonight. I mean, honestly, if you're Italian, you're gonna love this show. Like,
I think we just alienated everybody who's not Italian. So sorry about that.
We love you all. We have to. We're in Canada. We are a multicultural society. I mean, we gotta accept everything. There's so many Italian restaurants. Like, come on, right? Little Italy. Hello, people. Right? La Paloma, great Italian ice cream. Yeah, I could go on and on. Hi, I'm Carlene, and this is Larger Than the Ribs by Altered by Mom.
Is it worse to be hurt in the heart or the brain?
Or the mind, I don't mind, but I'll sing just the same.
It's a pain in the head, in the ass, it'll pass.
Is it truth, is it lies? Do we grow, will we die?
Do we drown or get shot, maybe choke on the smoke?
Maybe hang by our necks, what the heck, all the same.
Do we hug, do we kiss, do we even exist? Are you pissed, are you mad? I can't tell what this is. 'Cause my heart is larger than the ribs, larger than the ribs that contain it. My heart is larger than the ribs, larger than the ribs that contain it. My heart is looking for a heart, looking for a heart that will take it. My heart is larger than the ribs, larger than the ribs that contain it. This is strong against weak, I can't speak, I was wrong.
Or not right, but so close. Has a cat and got your nose.
Got your tongue, we had fun, I can't sleep in the dark.
This is sharp, one treat. If you are what you eat.
Then I'm lost in the fog, acting young, feeling old.
Are you cold? Was it real? Was it pain? Only trick.
If you give, I would take little space for mistakes. My missteps, I'm aware, but sometimes I can't. 'Cause my heart is larger than the ribs, larger than the ribs that contain it. My heart is larger than the ribs, larger than the ribs that contain it. My heart is looking for a heart, looking for a heart that will take it. My heart is larger than the ribs, larger than the ribs that contain it. Larger than the ribs, larger than the ribs that contain it. My heart is larger than the ribs, larger than the ribs that contain it. My heart is looking for a heart, looking for a heart that will take it. My heart is larger than the ribs, larger than the ribs that contain it. Larger than the ribs, larger than the ribs.
Hi, I'm Carlene, and you're listening to Carlene Tonight. Tonight we feature Altered by Mom. The song is Larger Than the Ribs. The band's been together since 2016, and you can check them out on Spotify, on Facebook, and Twitter, Altered by Mom. I just want to go through the holidays, Christmas. Name your top 5. Can you think of your top 5 favorite Christmas movies and why you like them?
Number one's got to be The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
Ooh, yes, I agree. Yes.
Because he's so relatable, let's be real.
Yes, he is. I just love the part where he's just like, I mean, this is when he's a kid, right? So it's not Jim Carrey's the little kid, and he's like, I hate Christmas, like, you know. And then the kids just make him feel like, you know,
I like the
kids are cruel.
I like the dinner by myself. Ooh, can't cancel that again.
Right?
But yeah, Jim Carrey's Grinch has to be, you know, number one up there. And then I don't know what else. Honestly, I'm not really the biggest Christmas movie person. I like the classics, right? I like Elf.
Yeah. What about A Christmas Story? I love
See,
that one.
okay, when I said I like the classics, I probably misspoke. I miss the classics from like classic millennial Christmas movies, like Elf and the
Oh,
Grinch. Like I don't know the old, like I don't remember the old ones. I don't
oh,
care. Like I'm
oh.
trying to think, what are some other ones that are classic to our time? I mean, uh,
Millennials? Oh, like Four Christmases, or I'm trying to think of like new.
I'm talking like 2000s Christmas movies here.
Oh,
I'm gonna see if I
okay.
can.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you don't have okay.
I don't like when Christmas hits. There's not like any movies that I really go to besides maybe, like I said, Elf, The Grinch,
Hmm.
and there's one that I'm missing here. There's one I'm missing, and I know it, and I can't think of it right now. What's another one of those like 2000s Christmas movies?
Wow, there's so many.
I'm making just like
A Carol Christmas, Christmas Carol, Dennis the Menace Christmas. I didn't even know they had one.
I used to love like
The Family
Santa
Stone is
Claus
one.
movies. I used to like the
Hmm.
Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen
Yeah,
when I was a kid.
yeah.
But man, there's one more I can't think of right now. That's like
What is it about?
I don't even know. I just know that there's like one super funny classic Christmas movie that's not
Oh,
Elf
oh,
or The Grinch.
okay.
But yeah, whatever. Those are the top two. I'm gonna give you the
Well,
top
I
two
mean, did you
because
watch Home Alone? Is that
no,
like, I mean, it's
I
not
never.
too early 2000s,
Yeah,
but
I'm not crazy about Home Alone. That movie actually scared me when I was a little kid when I first watched that. So I never really cared for it or
oh,
watched it ever again as an adult. I'm sure I wouldn't be scared of it now, but like as a little kid watching it, it was like a fear of mine that I'd be left alone. So watching this kid being at home in the house like fighting off robbers when I'm like 5 or 6 years old, it terrified me.
wow. Okay. So I'm seeing some, but I don't know if these are because they have what? Jack Frost.
Like Bad Santa was fantastic.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah, I guess I have to get into your because you're a millennial, so I'll have to do my homework here. The Family Man.
I don't think we're gonna come up with it here. Like Elf
Yeah,
isn't
we're
even
not.
showing up on my Google searches right now. How is Elf not showing up on my Google searches? That's
Yeah,
making me
you know,
really mad. I googled Christmas movie
wait a minute,
comedies.
Matt, you don't like A Nightmare Before Christmas? Like, come on.
I never watched Nightmare Before
What?
Christmas.
No way. This year, you're gonna have to watch that. That is a 90s classic. Like, you gotta, Tim Burton, like, did he direct that? I think he either directed or produced it. You gotta watch that because that's a mix between Christmas and Halloween. So you gotta watch that. Like, really. Like, there's
Yeah,
some
I'm not a
movies.
fan of Halloween though. So like I
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no.
So
Halloween's like one of
what
my
do you like
least
to do
favorite.
during the holidays then? Tell me. Like, I mean, if we were last year, what did you do?
Nothing. I like doing absolutely nothing. I like eating and I like
Mm-hmm. And
chilling.
also, let's talk food. What's your favorite dish? What do you like to eat during the holidays? Are you turkey? What I mean, what's the
We actually don't eat turkey. Once again,
okay? What do you eat?
Italian.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
usually
of course.
lasagna.
We went over that. Yeah. Oh, Italian lasagna is good during the holidays. What about desserts? Like, let's talk. You know what you like in the winter wonderland.
Man,
Do you like eggnog?
um,
Chocolate? What about some chocolate? You know?
eggnog's all right. I never really
Yeah.
like. I only
Oh my
like started
God,
drinking eggnog a
Matt,
couple of years
you're
ago.
like the
I'm not a
single
big.
guy. My goodness, like you know, other than the Grinch Stole Christmas, I'm trying to figure out what you
What
like
I
to do
like
during the
about
holidays,
Christmas.
other than sitting at the fireplace or something eating lasagna. Like, I mean, throw me a bone here, Matt.
Honestly,
Do
meh.
you listen
I
to
like.
Christmas music or you know?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Okay, tell me.
We're going all Christmas music on our radio station fairly
Right. Yeah, when are you starting that?
So, well, I can't say when because we're not
Oh, it's a
announcing that just yet.
secret, right?
But if you listen to Big 101 and if you listen to my show from 2 to
Mm-hmm.
7,
Yes, I still have to do that, Matt. I will definitely do it.
then,
Be what? Gotta support you.
keep listening because
Yes.
soon enough we're going to be announcing the start date to Christmas music and then jump into it. And
Oh, do you like Christmas music? Tell me one of your favorite Christmas songs. You gotta have at least one. Come on, Matt. So
Baby, It's Cold Outside.
Yes, I
I
like
don't think
that
that's
one.
is
Yes.
that anybody's favorite though? That's the one that like gets canceled every other
No,
year.
I think they don't like it because they don't want to be reminded that it's cold outside. But the one is like, I saw moms kissing Santa Claus.
I was just saying that
I
because
saw mommy
Baby
kissing.
It Gets Cold Outside kind of gets canceled every other year. It was funny. Last year it didn't get canceled, but the year before nobody played it.
Oh, okay.
But
What
honestly, I like
Mariah
all of
Carey's Christmas song gets enough play.
yeah. Mariah Carey gets them all. Michael
Mhm.
Bublé gets a bunch of them, but my favorite
Yeah.
used to be the like Bruce Springsteen stuff. And I will say this too: we went all Christmas last year. It was our first year going completely Christmas for the season, all Christmas music, and
Wow.
we're doing it again this year for the second year. And our
Hmm.
first year of doing it was so awesome. We got a good reception to it all. And
Hmm.
we did something different. We kind of had like, because we're the biggest hits of all time, we're playing like those guys like Bruce Springsteen and whatnot and Aerosmith. We're kind of playing more of those like rockin' Christmas songs and
I
kind of
love
more
Aerosmith.
upbeat.
Yeah, and one of my favorite Christmas songs I love to listen to is Smashing Pumpkins. They have a Christmas song that I love.
Do they really?
Yes, they do. Let me look that up and I will tell you because you have to listen to
You
that.
gotta send it to me. Maybe I'll if it's not already in our library. Our music director is fantastic, like probably one of the best music directors in the country. And if he's not already, I'd be surprised if he wasn't already on it. But if he isn't, I definitely have to send it on.
So Christmas Time is the song by the Smashing Pumpkins. You have to listen to it. It's a great rock and roll. I mean, that's a great alternative Christmas song. And when I love the Smashing Pumpkins to begin with, and so this is one of my favorites. It's on my list of songs I listen to throughout the season, and you should definitely check it out. It might not be one of your favorites, but if you like alternative Christmas music, then you got to do it up. Just listen to it.
Yeah, cool. I'll give it a listen.
Yeah.
Probably in like a couple of weeks, but
Yeah, I know it's a little early. I think I'm embracing it more because it's been a COVID year and everything is not how it normally is. So I'm a procrastinator when it comes to the holidays, but I think this year I might actually do things a little bit earlier, just a little bit, not so much. I mean, maybe do the cards thing. Like I'm traditional. I like to do Christmas cards even though people not really into it as much anymore. People prefer send them a text or a call or an email or whatever. Like, I mean, so many Christmas card places have closed down too, so it's not really a big thing anymore. But I do like to send people Christmas cards.
I kind of find it interesting that you said that you're into it a little bit earlier this year. I feel like that's seems to be the general consensus from everyone. I mean, I was a little bit surprised that, like W Network and all them started playing Christmas movies earlier this year. I feel like Christmas is just kind of coming in hot this year and is going to be starting a whole lot earlier this year, right? And I think people are actually going to be a little bit more fun with it as well, whereas normally people are like, it's too early to start Christmas music. And for some people, it's always too early to start Christmas music. But
yeah. It's so true. We have to look forward to something because it's just been a very quiet year overall. Like, you know what I mean? You said you're going to have a quieter Christmas. We're not doing big gatherings. People are still being careful because the numbers are going up a little bit again. But at the end of the day, I feel like we shouldn't stop doing what we normally do. Yes, you're going to limit the amount of people that you have over during the holidays, but that doesn't mean you should stop celebrating it. I think we have to have some positive reinforcements, things that make us happy during this time because, it's been a challenging year for everybody, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So maybe I'll have some eggnog after our call. I'm just kidding. I'm not having no eggnog. It's a little too early for that for me. There's just certain things, but yeah, it's just is that kind of year where you just embrace the simple things, right? I don't think it's about necessarily the presents. It's just, like you said, you're having a Christmas with your immediate family, and that's important too, right? Those are the people that you spend so much more time with. I think even I've talked to people who actually moved back home during COVID, or they've changed who they interact with, or their circle has become smaller because, you know, it's just different now.
Yeah, you just kind of gotta keep it tight right now, and hopefully we're out of this sooner rather than later.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking forward to that. If you want to check out Matt, he's on Big 101, 2 to 7 every day, Monday to Friday, right, Matt?
Yes, ma'am.
And soon we will find out when the Christmas music will start playing on the station. I can't wait. I think it'll be fun, right?
Yeah, it'll be really fun. Honestly, I'm a little bit excited for it. I'm excited for it, but I don't know how excited I'm going to be 2-3 weeks into it.
We'll reconvene. I'll be like, we'll catch up with you and be like, hey Matt, how's it going with the Christmas music? Are you loving it?
You get excited for it, and because it's a nice change, it comes in, and then when it's done, you're like, okay, thankfully that's done now. I
like
want
when you go to the retail store and you're like, oh my goodness, like I don't want to hear any more Christmas music. Like no. Right?
I will say, like I said before, though, like the Christmas music, I think last year I was kind of going into it like, oh, we're going to be playing Christmas music. I'm going to have to listen to this all day. And then, the songs that they were picking and that they were scheduling and like I said, our music director did a fantastic job. And the songs that we were playing, it was more of that like rockin' Bruce Springsteen type of Christmas stuff. And it was fun, it was fun Christmas. It wasn't like, Silent Night once every other hour that was putting you to sleep. It was fun. It got you into the spirit and it was good, right? It was
yeah. So I guess I'm excited for B101's Christmas special, and I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna listen for it and see what you guys play, because I mean it's fun. You know what I mean? Even if we get tired of it after a little while, it's you said it's a different mix of music, like Aerosmith. I love Aerosmith, and I like alternative music. I grew up on a lot of it, like Biff Naked, and the list goes on. But like I said, Matt Vettese, he is on Big 101. You can listen to him Monday to Friday from 2 to 7. He will keep you company on your drive home, and at some point, we just don't know the date just yet, but there'll be some Christmas music coming up, right, Matt? You can't make the reveal yet, right? We just don't know.
Yeah, not until the boss says, okay, we're promoting it now.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it's great to have you on the show. Thanks, Matt, for joining us and talking all things Christmas during this time of year. It's always good to connect with you and talk to you about life on air. As an announcer, you are, talking to people like me. We're listening to, you're keeping us company, right? So
absolutely. Thanks for having me on again.
I no problem. I'm Carlene, and this is Carlene Tonight with Matt Vettese. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to Carlene Tonight.
My heart is larger than the ribs that contain it. My heart is larger than the ribs that contain it.